Yeah, I hear ya.
No, you listen. You guys locked me out on the patio, and I politely tapped on the window.
Whoa, time out. With your gun.
Debatable.
The weekly hangover. This will probably hurt, but you'll be thirsty for more. You guys, it is such a good time right now because I got my friend Cory Rich on the phone. It's been, I don't know, last time since we've really had this real good talk was right before his wedding. Dude, Cory, what's up, man?
What's going on, man?
Dude, not much. Just got out of work. How's Charlotte? How's work? How's everything? How's been the marriage? How's it going, man?
Going good, man. Marriage is actually a lot like I thought it'd be. Basically just sitting around deciding what we want to eat for dinner and, arguing over which show we're going to watch on TV. No, it's good, man. It's it's good to have someone to come home to every day and, that kind of thing. It's definitely different. I can figure out a better way to put this, but I can't think of anything at the moment. Your freedom is restricted a lot.
I can only imagine, obviously I'm not married, but I can imagine that, you have your priority and you want to make her happy and see what she's into and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, mainly with stuff like, when we were roommates, there was plenty of days, especially if you were off, we might just take off and go to Nag's Head for the day or, go on a day-long road trip. And, of course, those days are over, without at least checking with her first. But, yeah, it's good.
That's cool, man. And how's work going? Everything smooth over there?
Yep, just work. This was like the fourth New Year's I've worked in 5 years.
Ugh.
But it was pretty uneventful, certainly not like Portsmouth. Work in general here is the work difference between policing in a county and policing in urban inner city is night and day. Just the crimes you deal with and, the people and just everything. Everything's completely different. So, but for the most part, it's a good difference.
Yeah, for sure, man. By the way, if anyone does not know, Cory is a police officer. He is in law enforcement, and he is a decorated officer. He used to be a part of the dive unit in Portsmouth, and genuine good guy, by the way. If anyone needs a reference, hit him up.
Oh, stop. No, you keep going if you want.
No, I definitely gave my valiant effort on trying to be into law enforcement, but it wasn't in my cards, so I moved on from that,
How are you liking your job now?
Dude, it is good so far, man. So, as most people know that have listened on this podcast, I get to work with one of my best friends and, one of your good friends too, Jordan. So it's great. I don't get to spend as much time as I want with him because obviously we're working and a lot of people don't know that he's my boss and, that everyone knows that he's my boss, he's everyone's boss, but it's good getting to hang out with him and see him, but I don't get to talk to him as much as I like when we're working, but it's been great getting to work with Jordan and, some other friends that I've, gotten to know over the time. But, it's good. I get off on Friday. I don't have to work on weekends. I get paid holidays, dude. I genuinely do I could see myself working here a long time.
That's good.
Heck yeah, man. And I'm just only working my way up. I'm pretty much at ground level, just pretty much entry level. But I do enjoy it. So I guess that's all that matters,
Yeah, definitely. I do have a question. I didn't even think about this earlier. How far do you want or do you plan to go with this podcast?
Dude, that's a good question. I'm glad you asked. So I love it. I still love doing it. I still love editing it. I love talking to friends. I could say that this is a pretty generic answer. I want to do it as long as it's fun. And it's still fun to me. I still love setting up these appointments and scheduling. I don't know. I like to make some money off of it, but currently it's just fun. And, we have a pretty decent following, well, a pretty small following. It's growing. So I don't know. I'd like to just keep doing it and keep having fun with it. I'd like to get some pro fighters on it. That's definitely what I would love to do. My sister-in-law's, her hairstylist, her brother is David Rickles. He's the caveman. He's in Bellator. And I'm definitely trying to get a hold of him. My sister-in-law passed all my information to him. I'm going to try to get him on the podcast. So where do I want to go with this? I want to keep going. I'd like to just keep having fun with it. It's a pretty generic answer. Sorry about it.
No, man. I mean, that's good. I'll have to pay you a compliment. You there's definitely a difference just in the smoothness and, I don't know I'm not sure what the technical term is, but you can just tell you're getting better at it.
Hey, man,
not that you were bad to start with, but, it's starting to sound very, very professional. So, you have my commendation on that.
Appreciate you. You're one of the main persons, one of the first persons that listens to it, so I greatly appreciate it.
Anytime.
That's cool, man. So this weekend, I know we talked a little bit about it, and I know you did work this weekend, but I know I was watching the fights this weekend, and I was talking to you a little bit about it while you were working, but did you catch the replay on UFC 219 this weekend?
I caught the replay of Barboza and Khabib, and then I just saw the highlights of Cyborg and Holmes and a couple highlights of the undercard, but, to be honest, those were the only two fights on that card that I really, really cared about.
Well, dude, there were 3 fights that were super interesting to me, and I'll give you my take, and then I'll see what you think. So there were 3 main fights that I wanted to watch. There's one title fight, which was the main event, which was, it was a very good technical fight, but we'll start with the lower of the 3. Neil Magny and Carlos Condit, dude. It was, I would say it was, pretty back and forth. It wasn't super crazy, but the crazy thing about it is Carlos Condit, do you know every person that he's fought? Not on the top of your head, but do you know some pretty big names that he's fought?
Yeah, George St. Pierre, Nick Diaz, Rob. Did he fight Rob? Yeah, he fought Robbie Lawler.
He fought
Tyron Wood. He's fought everybody.
Jake Shields, Frank Trigg, Rory McDonald, Johnny Hendricks, Tyron Woodley, Thiago Alves. Dude, his list is. He's incredible. It's a very, very good list. I'd say he's got a solid record. He's 30 and 11. So there's nothing to be ashamed about. He has a pretty successful career. I could say that if he left now, he could say he's fought a ton of great fighters. Spectacular career. Would you say? Oh, for sure. You were naming off some names that I even forgot about. Legends. He's fought everybody. That's just another way to put it. He's fought everyone that matters. I could definitely say that he's probably on his way out. Not too long ago, he was fighting GSP, and not too long ago, he was fighting Damian Maia and Lawler. I'm not discrediting Neil Magny. Neil Magny has fought some pretty good guys. On the list here, he's fought Rafael Dos Anjos, Johnny Hendricks, Lorenz Larkin, Hector Lombard, Kelvin Gastelum, and Damian Maia. He's a top tier guy. I'd say he's easily in the top 10, but if you lose to him, you might be not on your way out, but you might be fighting on Fight Pass pretty soon.
Yeah, you're certainly not in that upper caliber that's next in line for a title shot for sure.
And it's crazy, dude. He's been fighting for a long time. He's been fighting for a minute, so I'm not discrediting him. I'm just saying that he's probably on his way to Fight Pass,
Yeah, he has been fighting forever. I remember when he was fighting the WEC, back in the WEC days, which seems like forever now. He was a promising talent then. He fought Dan Hardy too. I happened to think about him, knocked him out.
Yeah. Actually, I had that on my list. I just didn't say it for some reason. I would say that this is a pretty good fight. Neil Magny ended up winning the decision. He won 30-27, 30-27, and then 29-28. So, Neil Magny did good. Good for him. Carlos Condit, sucks, pal. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then the fight right after that was so exciting. I know you like watching it, but for anyone that didn't know, it was Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Edson Barboza. Dude, that was pure dominance. I don't think you can get much better than that for pure dominance. All 3 rounds. Did you see the lopsided? Well, no. Did you see the score?
Yeah, one of them was 30-24.
Oh my gosh, dude, that was bad. Anyone that didn't watch it or would like to catch a replay or even the highlights of it, the whole fight, it looks like every single round he just put a massacre beating on Edson Barboza. And it's crazy because how would you describe Edson Barboza? Give me a couple words that you would describe him as.
The first thing is explosive. The dude is. I was watching it live when he wheel kicked Terry Edom into next century. Just the epitome of fast and powerful and he's had 2 guys. He's TKO'd 2 guys with leg kicks. The dude kicks like a freaking mule.
Yeah, dude. He is a nasty, nasty man. Yeah, dude. Anyone that did not watch the fight, go back and check out the replay. Go check out the highlights if you want. Just go on YouTube, check out Khabib. It was a extremely dominant performance. You can't take anything away from Edson Barbosa's heart, his display of, what would you say, character, excellent, phenomenal, incredible, top-notch tier fighter that Khabib just took apart, dude. Would you say that Edson Barbosa's career is probably in the top 5 for the past couple years?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't follow Edson Barboza as much as I do. I've been high on Khabib for a long time, but I mean, Edson's also fought the best of the best. He was destroying people for a long time. I remember when he fought Cerrone, I'm a huge Cerrone fan. I was scared for that fight, man. But Cerrone pulled it out. But yeah, I mean, beating Edson, that's, and the way he did, especially, that's certainly saying something.
Yeah, dude. He has some very high credible wins. I have some right here. Beneil Dariush, Anthony Pettis, Gil Melendez, Tony. Well, these are all guys that he's fought. He didn't win every one of them, but Tony Ferguson, Michael Johnson, Bobby Green, Evan Dunham, Donald Cerrone, Ross Pearson. Extremely credible fighter. I would say he's easily in the top 10, top 5. I'd say that he's a very memorable fighter. He's easily in my top 10. He's in my top 20 of all-time favorites.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the lightweight division is just so daggone thick anyway. To even be in the position where you're fighting for a title eliminator, you got to be an absolute monster. It's not like flyweight or have, kind of the opposite ends of the spectrum where 2 or 3 wins put together can get you a title shot. And the lightweight and, and welterweight too is just, you destroy, 5, 6 people that you still might not get a title shot. So to put himself in that position, he had to ruin everybody.
Dude, for sure. And what's crazy about, for the people that don't know, Khabib's record is now 25-0. The dude has not lost. He is probably, I would say he's easily your favorite or top 3 favorite fighters of all time.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember where I don't even know if the first time I saw him was in the UFC, but no, it was. He was fighting Kamal. It was either Kamal Shalarus or Gleason. I think Gleason Tebow was when I was really like, holy crap. Because Gleason Tebow is huge, massive dude, great wrestling. Khabib broke a takedown record in the UFC, ragdolling and making him look like nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I was like, holy crap, this guy's good. And, of course, you gave me grief for it. My question to you is, what do you think is next for him? Because I've been listening to all the interviews with, Michael Bisping has a podcast and Matt Serra has, and kind of just listening, they all chimed in on it.
Mm-hmm.
Is he fighting, do you think he'll fight Tony? Because there's a chatter that Tony Ferguson is going to fight Conor McGregor. And, people say, well, I don't think Conor McGregor is ever going to fight Khabib. I think that would be a lopsided beating. But what do you think?
Dude, so my take on this is, first, let me address Conor McGregor. I don't think he's going to come back in the title, or I don't think Conor's going to come back in the picture. I think that if he does, I think he will fight Tony Ferguson, because I think that's the easier fight for him, because Tony Ferguson had trouble with Kevin Lee. Yes, he submitted him. Cool, I gotcha. But he had trouble with him, dude. It wasn't, and Kevin Lee, he's no joke, but he's not Conor McGregor, and he's not Khabib. Khabib can and will take down and dominate and beat the piss out of anybody. So, bring it up to speed. Do I think that Conor's going to come back in? No, but if he came back tomorrow, I think they would do Conor versus Tony Ferguson, because I think that'll be the easier fight for Conor, because they want to keep Conor winning, right?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
So I would say that's my take on it. And then I would say, since Conor, I don't think he is going to come back, I would say that he's going to fight Tony Ferguson and take him down. But Tony Ferguson's no slouch on the ground, dude. He is very meticulous. He's very methodical. He is a wizard on the ground, dude. He's no slouch. But it's like, it's Khabib's world down there. It doesn't matter what you want to do. He's going to hold you down. He's going to beat the mess out of you. He may hump your leg, but he's going to get a win no matter what, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think, different people match up better with different, other different people. And, I mean, I think Khabib he's strong everywhere McGregor's weak. I think Tony Ferguson will be Khabib's toughest fight. Tony's not, I wouldn't say he's not like the best in any one area. He's not, his striking isn't like Barboza's, his wrestling isn't, like Khabib's, his ground game's not like, Damian Maia, but he's just good everywhere. He's good at everything. And I think that's what it's going to have to take to beat Khabib. You can't have any chinks in your armor. Plus, the cardio that it's going to take to beat him is going to be crazy too, because of course the grappling aspect of it is exhausting, and that's another area where I think he would really exploit. McGregor is, obviously his cardio is better than mine at the moment, or ever for that matter. But compared to a lot of guys, his cardio really isn't that good. So if Khabib beats Ferguson, I don't see Conor McGregor coming back. Certainly not at 155.
I would say, so real quick, if Conor does come back, I say he's either going to fight Tony Ferguson or he's going to go back and fight Diaz for the trilogy just to make more money. I don't know. He's definitely never going back to 145. And another side note, did you see Khabib saying he wanted to go to 145?
Yeah. I don't know about... I had skeptical hippo eyes about that one. Like there was a lot of people betting you wouldn't even make 155, much less 145. But if he did, because Daniel Cormier, who's a teammate with Khabib at AKA, was saying he gets up to 205 between fights. He is thicker than a freaking Milky Way, and he's pretty shredded. Like he ain't a Johnny Hendricks 205,
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I don't know how you would get to 145, but if you were to tell me, looking at Anthony Johnson, he used to fight at 170, I would say you're crazy too. So
that's true.
Who knows? It would be interesting.
Dude, that's a pretty valid point. So if your cardio is tight, which his cardio is tight, and you have a good nutritionist, I could say he could do it. But, he was eating tiramisu, the day before his last fight that he didn't make weight on, right? Am I correct? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the rumor, at least.
The lightweight title is dependent on Conor. I think Tony Ferguson thinks he's the champ. He's not the champ. He just, kind of got it. And I think Khabib is a real champ, even though Conor is out. I think Tony Ferguson and Khabib should fight next if Conor doesn't come back into play. I would like to see Conor Khabib because I think Khabib will win outright. I think he would win every single round if not the first or the second round, just get him in the ground and submit him. But if he does have to fight Tony Ferguson, that's going to be a lot of trouble. Obviously, he's no slouch, but do you remember when Michael Johnson and Khabib fought?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was same. And Michael Johnson's no slouch either, just strong, athletic dude, good wrestling, and just had nothing for him.
Yeah, well, do you remember the beginning of it when Khabib got tagged a little bit?
Oh, well, yeah, I do remember that part, but still, I would put my money on Khabib.
For sure, dude. I would say that his most recent fight with Edson Barboza, did you see the wheel kicks that he was throwing? And, he ate them like it was lunch, dude. He just kept on moving. Oh, it was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like he had his hand or his arm up, but even still, I mean, as hard as Barboza throws those things, I mean, that's your heel. I mean, there's not a whole lot of padding there. It's still gonna rattle you. And he just looked unstoppable.
Dude, I would say that's easily one of his best wins. I was ecstatic. My roommate Ben, he was watching with me, and I was telling him, I'm like, dude, he is so dominant. He's not gonna stop. He's not gonna give up. He's always gonna press forward, dude. It was just such a good win from him overall.
Yeah, man. He's a machine.
So that was my main fight that I wanted to watch. And then the main event was Holly Holm versus Cyborg Santos. Dude, what's your take on that?
Like I said, that one I just managed to see the highlights on. But, it looked like Holly got in a lot of good shots, too. Cyborg she's Cyborg, she's like Vanderlei Silva with long hair. She's just a beast. And I think, looking back, when I think of, her fighting Ronda, oh, my gosh, why, that wouldn't even be a fight. She would just stomp a hole in her chest or something.
Dude, my take on that is, so I watched the whole fight beginning to end. It was 5 rounds, so 5-minute rounds, 25 minutes of fighting. Holly Holm definitely won the first 2 rounds in my head. I think she pressed more. I think she landed more shots. Cage dominance. I think she did a very good job. Excellent game plan. And then Cyborg was landing a ton of shots. I don't know. You could say that her style is definitely like Vanderlei Silva. Kind of like she'll tag you with one and then unload like 10 more that are not very like technical punches, but just kind of like slugging, slanging them out. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I mean, and even just physique-wise, I mean, she's just like, I was looking at some of the pictures, of the fight, I think on, I don't know, one of the MMA websites, but she's just ripped, veins in her daggone forearms and biceps. I mean, she's a physical force, I mean, I was explaining it to Megan, who's my wife, for those who don't know. Jermaine Durand to me originally won that title. And a little history on her, she fought a dude and beat him in a Muay Thai match. So this woman wasn't afraid to fight a man and knocked him out. And when they told her she had to fight Cyborg, she was straight up like, no. Nope. Check out this arm. It hurts real bad. I'm out of here. So, I don't know who else they're even going to get to fight her. Like, who else would even be willing to fight her?
I don't know, man. So if anyone that doesn't know, Holly Holm is a decorated mixed martial artist. She was a world champion boxer, world champion kickboxer, and she, for most people that will know her, she was the one that blasted Ronda Rousey. So so she is a decorated fighter. I love watching her fight. Her technique, her combos, just the way she gets in and out. She is a very technically sound mixed martial artist, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I thought if anyone was going to give Cyborg trouble, it was Holly. I mean, I don't recall the number off the top of my head. It's something ridiculous, like 18-time world champion boxer or something like that. Something absolutely insane. And of course, as you saw in the Ronda Rousey fight, she's an incredible counterpuncher. So, I mean, a lot of the pros are picking Holly. Cyborg has that just kind of, reckless abandon, come forward and, take one to give one style. Of course, when she gives one, it's usually a lot more than what she gets.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I didn't think it was going to be a squash fest, and it wasn't. I mean, I'm going to have to go back and watch the whole fight because it looked really good.
Yeah, dude, if you do get a sec, go back and watch that fight. It was pretty A+. I would say, like, I was, not like on the edge of my seat because I didn't bet on this fight. Normally I bet on every major fight with my buddy Braden or you or Kendall. This fight is pretty A+. I'd watch it again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
In the last bit I have on Holly Holm, she definitely had a good strategy, but it just wasn't good enough to take out Cyborg Santos. Crazy big Cyborg Santos.
Yeah, she's a beast. Have you ever seen that girl, what's her name? Gabby Garcia that she trains with?
Yeah, dude.
She is she's like Ray Lewis, man. She's huge. Like 6'3", 250 pounds. And there's like a video of her fighting this Japanese lady somewhere in Japan, organization. And this lady looks like she was probably freaking, house cleaning in the hotel across the street or something. And they're just like, hey, want to make $1,000? It would never be sanctioned in America. But anyway, Gabby Garcia is the name. So check out that video if you want to see something that's just not right.
No, dude, I've seen that video. I've seen the fight, dude. It's a pretty big massacre. And she's a huge human being. Like you're what, like 6'1" or so?
6 foot, 6.5 maybe.
I would say you're definitely not a small individual. No one in your family is a small individual. And I would say this woman would give you guys a run for your money.
Oh, for sure. She would ragdoll me 100%.
Dude, so that was it for all the main fights that I wanted to watch, dude. The other fights that we have coming up, I'm actually so pumped. Well, 3 things. I thought I was super excited for UFC 220. UFC 220, January 20th, is for Stipe Miocic and Francis Ngannou. Dude, call it right now. Call it on air. Who do you got?
Man, I've been going back and forth on this one. I don't know. I'm going to say Stipe. I mean, he's fought a lot of dudes, in every single fight that he's had, title fight, I've been like, I don't know if he's got this. He won the title from Verdum, who's freaking Mount Rushmore of heavyweights. Fought him in Brazil, knocked him out. Mm-hmm. Then he fought JDS next. And, of course, JDS, maybe not in the prime of his career, but, still a big dude, good boxer, knocked him out. And then he fought Alistair Overeem, who's, not a cakewalk for anybody, knocked him out too. Francis Ngannou, though, man, he is easily the scariest dude to come along in the UFC in a long time.
He is a bad hombre, dude. Like, he is a scary, massive individual. I could say he's probably the second scariest. Like, I would say sheer size, I don't know. Sheer size, I would say Brock Lesnar was probably like the scariest guy that's came out of the UFC. Like,
yeah.
And then I would say Ubereem, not Overeem, but as you and I know, Ubereem when he was on the horse meat, when he was on the steroids and TRT. Scary, scary individuals. But, dude, he is all freaking natural.
He doesn't even take, like, protein powder or creatine or anything.
Yeah, dude, he is huge. If you don't know who he is, people that are listening, type in Francis Ngannou. He is so big. Oh, my gosh. So you're going with Stipe on that, yeah?
Yeah, I think ultimately he's going to have more tools. I mean, I think if he uses his wrestling, that's where he's going to get the win. Now, if he decides to just stand up and bang, I don't know. Stipe has been knocking fools out too, and he can knock out anyone in the world just like Ngannou can. But, Ngannou's just so big, man, and he's fast too. He's not just big, he's fast and explosive. So. But all in all, I'm going to go with Stipe.
Yeah, I'm going with Stipe too. But also, do you remember that Stipe got sat down and almost knocked out by Overeem?
Yeah, that's true. Like I said, I've been going back and forth on this pick. If Ngannou knocked him out cold, it wouldn't surprise me. But I don't know. I'm just, all in all, at the end of the day, I got to go with Stipe.
Yeah, for sure. I'm with you on that one, man. And then not the co-main event, but the fight right before that will be Daniel Cormier and Volkan Oezdemir. I don't know how you pronounce his last name, but yeah, I'm going with DC. I'm not really big on the other guy, Volkan. I don't really honestly know too much about him. Daniel Cormier, champion, even though he didn't get the belt by successfully winning the belt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would go with DC against anybody not named John Jones. He's, as far as I can recall, John Jones is the only loss he's ever had. People forget DC is undefeated as a heavyweight. Mm-hmm. He fought everybody, and then he's undefeated at light heavyweight except against John Jones. And, I don't know a whole lot about Volkan Oezdemir either. I know his last fight where he knocked out Jimmy Manuwa, that was pretty impressive, but there's a big difference between Jimmy Manuwa and Daniel Cormier. I easily call that for DC.
Yeah, I'd say that's definitely a gimme fight. I don't know if you'd call it a gimme fight, but I'd say it's definitely going to be easier than like John Jones or the late great Rumble Johnson. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. It seems like one of those fights where there's kind of no one really in the stable right now to put him up, next to with Jones out and DC being, the mascot for the St. Louis Rams or whatever he's doing now. And I could maybe see Alexander Gustafsson getting a shot. I don't know if he was injured or not, but yeah, it's definitely just kind of you need to fight and, here's this guy. One of those deals.
Yeah, dude, that's pretty much my take on it. Well, dude, That's all I got for now. You got anything you want to say? What's one thing you want to say to the fans, friends? Anything you want to say to your baby mama?
Gosh, I even knew this moment was coming and tried to think of something before we went on air and couldn't. It's a new year. Make something of yourself this year. I know the last 7 years I've been saying I'm going to get the beach body I've always wanted, but circumstances came up and had to postpone it. But this is the year, making my power moves. Coming for the Mr. Olympia title.
Dude, so for anyone that doesn't know, Cory and I were roommates in college, and we lived together for 2 years. And, dude, we hit the gym, and we were like, oh, yeah, we're going to hit it this time. Next week. No, we'll get it next week. Let's just get it next winter, Dude, This is it, man. The power moves, man. Wintertime is it's among us, so got to make those power moves for the summer. You know what I mean?
That's right. Everyone's going to. I'm gonna shut everyone up this time around. Things are different.
All right, Cory, man. It's been good seeing you, man.
Yeah, man. We'll have to do this again.
For sure, buddy. Have a good one.
All right, you too.